Ladies and gents, hello and welcome. My name, of course, is Obita Potato, and here we check out the latest and the greatest strategy games each and every day of the week. 2024 is going to be a huge year for automation games with a bunch of really mega releases, and I'm breaking down all the highlights for you today. From innovative conveyor belt setups to niche factory builders, I've got a list that'll keep you busy building and automating for the whole darn year. I've stuck to games that have yet to release. However, I've slipped a few early access titles that have got significant game-changing updates or DLC that'll be coming in 2024 and 2025. I know I'm biased because I've literally compiled, written, and edited this video, but boy oh boy, this is a great list, and I can guarantee you'll be straight off the wishlist a bunch of these titles after you are done. Also, don't forget to stick around until the end, where I've included a few great automation games that you might not have heard of that you can play right now to fix that factory building fix. Let's get cracking, shall we? Without a doubt, the Crust is my most anticipated upcoming automation game in the coming year, and judging just by how much excitement there is for this title, it seems a bunch of you are as excited as me. In the Crust, you build a colony on the moon and lay the groundwork for the exploration of deep space. Mine valuable resources, automate production, manage scientific expeditions, and explore the lunar surface. 400,000 kilometers away from Earth, you'll get to see just how vast the cosmos really is and how little we yet know about its mysteries. Get ready to face some tough choices. After all, the future of mankind may depend on your decisions. The Crust is a classic automation game in the sense that it's got conveyors, big juicy machines, and a whole bunch of robots and plenty of research to keep you busy. You're mostly going to be building and dealing with two distinct aspects of a single moon base: the underground area where you extract all your resources and do your material processing, and the above ground where you undertake power generation and general research and logistics. Honestly, I am just unbelievably hyped for this game, and I can't wait for release. Check out my video on the preview build of the game in the top right if you're interested in seeing how it plays. The Crust is going to be blasting onto Steam in Q1 of 2024, and I honestly cannot wait. Dawn Apart is a space colony and factory sim with fully destructible environments. Mine resources, maintain a growing settlement of fortune hunters, and defend against the fierce native population. Or flip the script and start a rebellion against the greedy corporation exploiting your new home. This is a gorgeous voxel automation game that features rails, conveyors, and vertical factory building. Think Satisfactory, but on a hostile planet, plus you've got the colony building element to consider too. Manage a growing number of engineers, mercenaries, and civilians who have left their home behind to start over in a lush but hostile world. Provide enough food, shelter, and medicine to accommodate the steady influx of new settlers and create a prospering colony. Dawn Apart looks great. There's no word on a release date yet, but get subscribed to the channel because I'll definitely be covering this one when it comes out at some unspecified point in the future. Shapez 2 is, you guessed it, the sequel to the smash hit indie game Shapez. Shapez 2 is a top-down factory building game where you extract and process geometric shapes. Each shape is its own set of building blocks that your factories can take apart, stack, paint, and put back together again in unique ways. Build and automate to produce distinct shapes and solve the production challenge of each goal. Sounds simple, doesn't it? It definitely starts that way, but pretty soon you'll be automating and processing abstract geometric shapes into more complex ones by cutting, rotating, stacking, painting, and a whole bunch more. Deliver distinct shapes to unlock new technologies and expand your factory's capabilities. Learn, improve, rebuild, and solve logistical challenges to design the most efficient shape production lines possible. The sequel takes things to a whole new level. It's now in 3D, which is the biggest change, the most exciting change, but there's also a bunch of other improvements as well. Shapez 2 will be arriving at some point in 2024. Unfortunately, no word on a more specific release date quite yet. Oddsparks might just be my predicted sleeper hit for 2024. Explore a strange fantasy world, uncover the mysteries of the past, automate your workshops, and go on adventures with your odd and adorable Sparks. Designed with a bunch of accessible automation in mind, you're able to build a grand factory with yourself, or indeed in co-op with some trusty companions. And I'm super here for all of that. The automation is undertaken through your sparks, which are like magical little log-type creatures that you can give orders to move resources between machines and do a whole bunch of other stuff. Everything is set in this magical sort of fantasy woods type place, and it kind of has to be, I suppose, if you're using, logs to do your bidding. Whatever the case, I'm very excited for this one, and thanks to the devs for providing the footage that you're seeing in the background of this right now. Believe it or not, this is actually exclusive footage. Never yet before seen footage of Oddsparks, which is very, very exciting indeed. So you can have a little look for any sort of specific things that haven't yet been announced yet in the footage. Get this one on your wish list if you're interested in checking this one out when it drops sometime in 2024. Snacktorio is a factory cooking simulator where you must satisfy the appetites of unspeakable horrors with food. Build and manage sprawling networks of machines and pipes to mass-produce delicious meals that can satiate the endless hunger of the beasts that are invading your home. Order up. As one of the remaining chefs in your tribe, the responsibility of maintaining the balance with the monsters through the tasty medium of food has fallen on your grubby little hands. Can you turn the tide of the ever-growing threat of invasion, and also maybe get a nice 5-star review on Just Consume? I don't know about that name. Anyway, this really is a factory building game that doesn't fit the traditional sort of purely industrial mold, which is honestly pretty darn cool. Running a 2D factory restaurant was not on my bucket list for 2024, but I'm sure as heck interested. Hopefully we'll see more information with regards to a release date or a demo in the coming weeks and months ahead, but there is no information presently. Industrial Annihilation is the sequel to the real-time strategy game Planetary Annihilation, which I loved and is a great game in and of itself. In its own right, it's fantastic. Industrial Annihilation, however, takes a peek behind the scenes, so to speak, as you're charged with building the factory that builds the weapons needed for interplanetary destruction. Become a master constructor, feed resources into giant Titan-level units, or go all in on game-ending planet crushers. Create the ultimate kill squad, or build artillery to devastate opponents with nukes. There's a campaign, multiple factions to explore, and AI to battle. Now, I am really excited to see where this one goes. Development looks to be in a pretty early stage at the moment, as we've not had too many details about how the game is going to play. Hopefully, we'll see more in the weeks and months ahead. Industrial Annihilation will be arriving on Steam in Q2 of 2024. You can pre-order now, but only through the developer's website. There is literally not even a Steam page yet. Whatever the case, keep an eye on this one, because I have a feeling it's going to be real good. ShapeHero Factory is a game that fuses the factory simulation, roguelike, and tower defense genres together. Use different shape combinations to mass produce a variety of heroes, who will then fight all on their own. All you need to worry about is building the optimal factory to manufacture them. This is a wave-based tower defense game, so you need to build a factory to mass-produce heroes and prevent your gates from getting demolished. You'll not be able to command the heroes directly. The only thing that you can do is literally build your factory. What a fantastic premise! Each wave, enemies will be stronger than the last. Use the unique artifacts that you earn as rewards to reinforce your factory and stand your ground. You've got to survive every grueling battle and defeat the great calamity that awaits you at the end. Transport basic shapes from the scroll to assemble your heroes with different combinations. Circles with triangles make soldiers, while circles and squares make sprites. Add squares to soldiers to give them shields. Perhaps, create even stronger heroes by combining soldiers together. Honestly, what a premise that is. Combining Factorio, Little Big Workshop vibes with a tower defense game looks to me to be an absolutely killer premise, and I'm really excited to see where this one goes. This game is going to be arriving in Q1 of 2024, so stay tuned for coverage on this channel. This one is right up my street. The Factorio Space Age DLC has been in development for what feels like forever. at this point. But we're finally going to see it this year. Hopefully, no guarantees. It's been delayed before, and it could very well be delayed again. Space Age focuses on getting your factory into space. You'll be building big automated space stations, collect asteroids, and processing minerals and metals all in the vacuum of space. The DLC has undergone a bunch of concept testing and redesign over the course of the last year, so things are clearly still being tweaked internally. Knowing the Factorio devs like to present a complete, stable game at the end of the process, I have no doubt that the level of polish will be exceptional on whatever is released. Technically, there is no official release date yet. However, according to the developer blog, which is linked below if you'd like more information, we can expect this to arrive by the end of summer 2024. Automation Station might just be the most satisfying game on this list. Certainly in terms of the animations, this is a very, very satisfying game indeed. Now, in Automation Station, you'll start with nothing, but soon discover the raw resources that you need to collect. Refine and craft resources into machines to automate your harvesting, refining, and crafting tasks. Eventually, you'll be able to link up your machines with conveyor belts and other gadgets to create large automated assembly lines. As you scale up, you'll unlock more areas of the world to find new resources and machines to improve and expand your factory. Build your factory the way you want. You'll have access to modular pieces that can be combined in many different ways to achieve your goals. You might fancy taking your time designing a perfectly efficient factory, or you prefer a quick and sloppy approach so long as it gets the job done. There is no wrong way to play. Still no word on a release date yet for this one, but drop it a wishlist and follow the developer on Twitter if you're interested in staying up to date with development. Imagine Factorio or Satisfactory, but in 2 dimensions. Well, that's pretty much AutoForge. It's as if Terraria was suddenly able to incorporate pipes and smelters and belts, all the things that make an automation game great. You start underground in an unknown location and you play as Otto, a magical golem awakening to find he was abandoned by wizards long ago. Seek out your ancient masters and learn what happened to them and your world. First, you have to gather resources and build an expansive automated factory reaching up to the sky and deep into the ground. Unlock and explore regions of a vast world filled with wonder and danger. Upgrade yourself with ancient technologies and then defend it all from the unfriendly denizens of the world. This is a great little game with surprising depth, pun intended, but still no word on a release date quite yet. It is still listed as coming soon. However, there is a demo floating around, so check out the Steam page to see if it is up at the present moment. You can also check out my coverage of this gorgeous little game in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Mini Settlers is a minimalistic city builder that disguises an automation game filled with expansive production and logistics chains. Settle islands, construct cities, and design efficient logistics networks to fulfill your building's needs and fuel population growth to adventure into new worlds. Build a well-connected network of roads, trains, and ports between your factories and cities to transport and fulfill any need they may have. But you need to be careful not to overload your supply chain. You've got to grow and maintain all of the needs of your population at the same time as growing your cities. This is a great little game that will have you scratching your head on the best way to move a specific resource halfway across the map. You keep building and building and building, and suddenly everything stops working as you've stressed your network a little bit too much. It's a great game. It really is. At least the demo was. My video is up in the top right-hand corner if you're interested in seeing more. According to developers, there's going to be a bunch of additional features in the full version of the game. On the full version of the game, there is still no word on a release date yet, but I'll absolutely be checking this one out as soon as it drops. Foundry is a first-person factory building simulation set in an endless, procedurally generated voxel world. Mine resources, craft machinery, and automate your research to progress through the game. Face logistic challenges by planning and building a conveyor belt and pipe network, manage a complex power system, and expand your constantly growing production lines. While you start small by crafting your first items and machines by hand, you'll soon find yourself surrounded by a large sci-fi factory doing all the work for you. You need to expand your factory by building more production lines, more conveyor belts, and more pipes, whilst keeping a stable power supply for your growing energy demands. By conducting research, you'll unlock more advanced, complex, and faster technology to optimize, design, and maximize the output of your factory. I love Foundry and can't wait to see what this game looks like at release. Paradox are now publishing this title, so hopefully the release plans are going to be even bigger and better than previously. Another game with no release date set out, but given the state of the game when I played it, that was the creator preview, I can't imagine that a release date is altogether too far away. What serious automation list would be complete without Dyson's Sphere program? Now, this title is currently in early access. However, it is also one of the best in the genre, and it's slated to keep getting better and better in the months and years ahead. If you've never heard of Dyson's Sphere program, you should change that immediately. It is 3D Factorio set across a huge galaxy. You've got to build the most efficient intergalactic factory possible, harness the power of stars, collect resources, plan and design production lines, and develop your interstellar factory from a small space workshop to a galaxy-wide industrial empire. The long-awaited combat update hasn't arrived quite yet, but it may well have by the time that this video goes live. It's set to arrive in December of 2023. However, that is not the end of the road for this game, and we can expect more juicy updates with more juicy gameplay and more juicy factory building goodness into 2024 and 2025. What they're going to contain? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Whatever it is, my bet is that it's going to be good, it's going to be interesting, and I can't wait to play it. Railroad Corporation 2 is set during the early 20th century just as rail electrification is arriving. In this one, you'll be building your railroad empire up as you evolve from steam locomotives to new diesel and electric engines. Establish cities, various industries, and amenities to help grow your empire. These cities will need to be powered, as will your locomotives, so connect the region by rail to boost trade and grow your corporation. Over time, you'll be able to deliver improvements that will drive even greater efficiency. Of course, time is money, and the new diesel and electric technology is your key to success. Improve your railroads with faster locomotives and greater efficiency, unlock additional resources through research, and discover groundbreaking ways to develop the landscape. Become the most reliable and prosperous railroad corporation to outpace the competition. We don't have a release date from the developers on this one quite yet, but if you're unable to wait to play, you can play the original whilst you wait. Final Factory is a space factory builder as vast as the cosmos. Explore and expand across space on an infinitely generating map filled with stars, planets, black holes, the ruins of an ancient civilization, and ancient artifacts that will help your factory. Set up automation to make all aspects of your stations run like clockwork, design space stations, and connect them through careful logistical planning. Use your infrastructure to advance through a sprawling tech tree and automate the production of a massive fleet of ships that will grant you special abilities and help you defend your base against the local aliens. This is a truly unique automation game. It is a really, really unique game, full stop. It's also pretty darn cool and has a bunch of mechanics that sort of set it apart from other similar games in the automation genre. Final Factory will be warping into hyperspace near you in Q1 of 2024. Omega Crafter is an open-world survival craft game set in an under-development game world that is being attacked by a mysterious program. Adventure, build a city, challenge mighty bosses with Grammy, your programmable sidekick. We'll get back to that in just a second. And friends, in order to complete development of the game by release date. Very meta, isn't it? Very, very meta. Automation in Omega Crafter is in the form of Grammy, cute little programmable robots. Using stone and wood with mysterious materials that have never been seen before, create your ideal base by automating the building process with your Grammy. Grammy's actions can be easily programmed for mining, logging, moving materials, etc. This looks like a really nifty little game. It's very meta, obviously. I'm excited to check it out because it says it's going to be arriving in Q4 of 2023, but I think it's safe to say that we can probably expect this one in 2024 at some point. Craftomation 101 is a bit of a hardcore automation game, if you like. You land on a frozen planet in a tiny rocket with a robot inside. Harvest and combine materials to discover new ones. Use visual programming to make the robots do the tiresome work for you. Slowly build up a gang of self-sustaining robot workers and watch them terraform the planet. This is a little bit of a complex one to get into. The bar of entry is a little bit higher than other automation games on this list. However, if you're interested in learning how to program, then this is definitely a game that you might be interested in because it looks pretty darn cool. Check out the demo. Right now, you can see if this game is for you before dipping into the full game. Technically, the devs still say that they'll be releasing in 2023. However, given that time frame is shortening, even if they do a launch this year, the game is planning to be in early access for some time to come. So expect the majority of this game to be released and fleshed out in 2024. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a wacky one. Time to Morph? Not quite sure about that. Is a game about weird and quirky creatures, building bases, exploring worlds, automation, research, and much more. Most importantly, though, this game is about friendship, because you are, on your journey throughout this world, going to be befriending a whole bunch of Morps. And they're kind of like cute little creatures. Some of them are friendly, some of them aren't. Some bite, and some just run in circles and scream. But the most important part is that they morph. They can shapeshift, they can change. If you feed it metal, crunch, now it's producing metal. Leave one near water, splash is now your personal walking fountain. You can mix and match to produce every single resource that you need from these little creatures. You can use the patented, not so complicated pump systems to easily automate everything from morp routes and food logistics to sleep schedules and power consumption. Set it up and watch everything go horribly wrong. Just my type of game, eh? This is a great little game that has multiplayer too, so you can build your morp base with friends. I played the demo of this game a while ago. It was really surprisingly good. You should absolutely keep an eye on this one as it is set to release in Q1 of 2024. Total World Liberation is a huge mush of genres, touted as an open-world survival, automation, crafting, building, turn-based game. You've got to do a lot to get your head around that mix of genres. Find other survivors and bring them with you. Build your base with a workshop, generator, houses, and plenty of defenses and traps. Split up into multiple teams and explore different areas. And don't forget to bring enough ammo when you leave your base. Set up outposts to gather resources in faraway lands and transport them back to your base through automated machines. And make sure that the zombies don't destroy your logistics operation. Craft items, armor, weapons, and loads of ammo. Build drones to help you gather, craft, and patrol. Explore a large, persistent open world with no loading or mission instances. Everything happens in the world. Oh, and of course it's turn-based, so you can take your time to think and, take your time to come up with a decent strategy. How is all of that going to work? Honestly, who knows? But I have confidence in the developer because he's actually got a new automation game that has just launched. More on that in my bonus games section. However, Total War Liberation will be releasing at some point in 2024. And you know what? It's going to be wacky, and I'm kind of here for it. Last but not least, a truly excellent mega factory builder, Satisfactory. This one is still in early access and is improving substantially with each update. I feel I really don't have to tell you what Satisfactory is if you're this far into the video. If you're still here, hello, thank you for watching. I'm trying to use Twitter more, so if you're interested in my strategy game hot takes, drop me a follow over there, just between the two of us. Anyway, Satisfactory is a first-person, open-world factory building game with a dash of exploration and combat. Play alone or with friends, explore an alien planet, create multi-story factories, and enter conveyor belt spaghetti heaven. Or hell, indeed, if you're me. The latest update has just gone live, or will just be going live at the time of writing this update. That is update 8. However, there's still update 9 and presumably update 10 after that to come, and I would hope that both would come in 2024. Whatever 2024 brings, the promise of Satisfactory is huge. I love this game. I can't wait to see what more gets added to it. And if you're an automation fan, then I know you'll be keen to see what comes to Satisfactory in subsequent updates. I'm very excited for it. Can't wait to see what happens in this game. So that's it for my list. Stay tuned for the bonus games that you can play right now, but before we move on to that, let me know in the comments, what automation game that I've listed above are you most excited for? Is there a game that I have missed off my list that is an automation title that you are unbelievably super interested to see in 2024 and 2025? Please do let me know. I'm always looking to compile more information about more of the games that you are interested in playing, and I'd love to hear from you. So let me know down below. And yeah, let's move on to the bonus games, shall we? There's been a bunch of great automation games that have released over the course of 2023, and the whole point of this little bonus game section is to perhaps highlight a few that you may not have heard of. However, if you're interested in automation games, that I think you may enjoy to play right now. Okay, first on our list is SteamWorld Build. The whole premise of SteamWorld Build is quite interesting. It's a city builder kind of combined with a mining sort of automation game. On the surface, you build a city. On the underground, you exploit a mine, and you're able to extract the whole bunch of resources that you need in order to build a city above ground. The premise is really rather cool. I kind of dig it. It looks great. It feels great. It feels really, really good to play. Definitely check this one out if you're interested in automation sort of style base building games. Definitely 2 thumbs up for me. The second game that you may be interested in, if you're interested in automation games, factory builders, that sort of thing, is Mob Factory. Mob Factory is a cross between a tower defense game and an automation game. It is unbelievably sort of unique in the fact that all of the enemies that you are destroying in your sort of tower defense capacity, you use all of the resources. You use all of the resources that their bodies and dead corpses provide in order to build a bigger and better and more efficient factory. There's a whole bunch of conveyor belts, there's pipes, there's that whole sort of stuff. It's great. I really love Mob Factory. It's very, very easy to pick up. It's very, very simple. It's a great little premise. Love it. Absolutely love it. The third bonus game that I've got on this list is Desynced. Now, Desynced is a difficult beast to sort of describe. It's a very sort of traditional factory builder with one major difference. You build your factory with these little robots, and these little robots have got a very, very high degree of like modular customization. I'm not going to be able to describe it in this, little minute-long rundown of the game. However, I would say if you're interested in a very, very, creatively paced factory builder and a very good-feeling factory builder in the sort of industrial automation vibe, check out Desynced, because you will not be disappointed. It feels so good to play. Techtonica. The premise for Techtonica, pretty flippin' simple, I would say. It's kind of like Factorio, except if Factorio was set underground, a sort of alien planet. it's literally that simple. The world is glorious. The world is gorgeous. Destructible environments, all of that sort of good stuff. It's Satisfactory / Factorio under an alien world. What can I say? And I love it. I love it for it. It's a really simple premise. It's great. Yeah, not got much more to say. Techtonica, definitely recommend this one. And last but definitely not least, I have a co-op automation game that you may want to play with a friend. It is called Dinky Guardians. You can, of course, play it by yourself, as I did. I really enjoyed my time with it. The premise is kind of simple. You build up a base, you defend it against the bad zombies, and you use these like little dinky things to power and operate. You can give them sort of like very specific instructions on what they can do, move resources around, operate specific machinery, and you need to make sure that they're all fed at the same time. It's pretty simple. It's pretty cutesy. You'll definitely have a grand little time with this one, especially if you play it with a friend. Definitely check out Dinky Guardians. It is made by the same developer that is bringing us Total War Liberation. So if this game, Dinky Guardians, is indicative of the quality that we can expect in Total World Liberation, then I am very excited to play that game, even though it is a massive mush of mega genres. Anyway, Dinky Guardians is good. Check it out. So that's it, ladies and gents, for the whole thing. That is all of my bonus games. What did you think of them? What did you think of the main list? What automation games are you excited for in 2024, 2025? Please do let me know down in the comments below. But for me, that's it. Check out the Patreon page if you're interested in helping make videos like this possible, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.